Welcome to the Action Debate. This is a show which unravels cross-cutting issues that trigger new imaginations and alternative ways of building a green and sustainable planet. And today, we are discussing the topic, climate change, environmental degradation, and natural resource governance, connecting the dots. To help us unpack this topic, we are joined by Mr. Famba Ingirande from Zimcot. We also have Madame Gloria Sangweme. She's a small-scale miner from Shamba, together with Nyanduri Nyandoro, an award-winning transformative artist. So to start this discussion, I will start with you, Mr. Ingirande. Can you give us a brief overview of the state of natural resource governance in Zimbabwe?
Well, natural resource governance, I see private interests. I'm not seeking neoliberalism. When we talk about neoliberalism, we talk about this tendency to extract at all costs, without consequence, without consideration of impact, such that the way we are governing our natural resources, we are prioritizing profits over people, such that we end up with a situation where our natural resource base is governed to facilitate a few people making a lot of money, whilst undermining a lot of people suffering to also benefit from the little, or to make do with the mess that arises when there is extraction of natural resource government, natural resources. So the point is, natural resource governance, I small profit.
Okay, that's the situation right now. And the natural resource governance, it will more profit as it stands. So I want to hear from a voice from the people representing small-scale miners. I'm coming to you, Madam Sangweme. What is the situation really like on the ground right now, especially considering you as a women miners?
As for women, we are not actually recognized as women miners. Kaneka kutarisirwa pasi katunoita so kana kubvira kumari kusvika mumaina kwacho unoona ngori uye muridzi wemaini sezvo kuti ndiri muridzi wemaini unonzi mukadzi abvunzopinda maini pakutotanga problem ati utonzi mukadzi abvunzopinda maini yazonzi ndiye mukadzi but haupindemo ende maproblems ekuti vamwe veduwo zvavo vanoshandisa machemicals akasiyana zvezvo zvedemining yekuti anotopinda mumaini ototimba kutimba pese nepamaini pako pachikapapa otopinda ototimba ototora maini godhi rachona kutoenda panonzi panogaiswa unogaisa utogaisawo asi panonzi tada kukolekta mari dzedu isusu unoona less but anomugaisi ndianowana mari yakawanda kupfuura iwe wacho wamaini.
So it seems the current perspective is not favoring women, even from the statements from Madame Sangweme. I want to come back again to you, Mr. to say, in light of the overview which you have shared, it is clear that there is need for effective community participation in natural resource governance. What are some of the critical areas for community participation in natural resource governance in Zimbabwe?
Critical area number one is consciousness. Critical consciousness. Kuti vanhu vanzwisise kuti munharaunda medu umu, how much resource do we actually have? Vadaro vafungewo kuti resource really, how is it being governed? Is it being governed in our interest, or is it being governed in the interest of others? Whereby most communities realize that ever since pakatangwa kuchekwa, the history of kuchekwa, everywhere you're looking, communities are suffering instead of benefiting. So chekutanga, the first priority is we need to conscientize our people. Kuti azvireveka kuti kana muri mune granite mutoko akushekwa kana munhu bhacha iti mutoko yese unoshaya kana vanhu vane magranite vanotodetsikana kana vachitorova matombo avo, they can't benefit from their own resource. Why? Saka consciousness is the first part. Tozotaura nyaya yekuti how do we govern for the benefit of the many and not for the few. But benefit we're also talking about how do we empower people to optimize resource use. chii chinoshamisira wangu kana pagrena ipaika kuchekwa nekukweshwa webhai rofanira kutotakurwa riri raw rozonochekerwa kunze uku vana vedu vashayiwa mabasa. We want them to have the skills to optimize resource farm.
Consciousness optimization. From my understanding, knowing the impeccable power of arts in building consciousness, I want to direct this question to Nyanduri Nyandoro. What role can arts play in raising public consciousness in natural resource governance?
Thank you so much for asking me this question, O'Brien, and I'm happy to say the role of the arts. When we talk of the role of the arts in natural resource governance, we are saying kuti isusu tiripo pakubvunza kuti boherei pakuti munhu anozonzi aita confusion yebhegi raatakura rimwe racho ranga rine gold racho rarifainwa kupi hapana ari kuziziva. Basa redu semaartists ndeyekubvunza tichibvunzana kuti boherei kuti at the end of the day panonzi pari kuda kumainiwa granite panodisplaceiwa macultural treasures anodisplaceiwa, makoma anoera anokanganiswa pachida kungomainiwa granite chete. Basa remaarts nderekubvunza kuti boherei kuti muri kutoti mimi muri kusiya vanhu vachivaka pamawetlands vachitotemba neclimate yedu yatiri kudhila nayo, and yet inini ndikavaka ka1 room kangu pawetland munondipwanyira. Basa remaarts nderekubvunza kuti boherei natural governance, and I'm happy mukoma famba ingirando yekuzimkodwa panapa and totsvaga magraft kana pamunoda kuti mutaure nevanhu paya ndo basa redu iroro, ndo kubasa kwedu.
Hanzi basa remaarts kubvunza kuti boherei. But I also want to come back to you, Nyanduri Nyandoro. You have been in this creative space for a long time, and you are one of the award-winning artists who has been doing a lot in as far as good governance is concerned. The issue of arts been that effective in asking those critical questions? You've been saying, over these years, has been very effective, or we are just chasing shadows?
Well, I think for me and other comrades who are in the same work that I do, when we talk of transformative arts, we don't just finish it. There are three critical questions that we inform how we create and how we measure our success. We want to make people feel something. We want to make people think about something. And above all, the most important thing is we want to make them do something. So on that note, we've made people cry, we've made people laugh, we've made people start thinking about boherei by natural governance, like in the case that we're talking about. Boherei on a lot of issues around even climate change, around green governance and the use of renewable energy, whether people accept. And we have seen the doing component is now when we, for instance, have a play that is talking about climate change, we've made them feel the impact of climate change. We've made them think about what they can do about climate change. We are happy that most of the times people have started conversations around what they can do, and some of the instances we have tracked, we have seen some action being taken towards the issue that we raised. For instance, when we're raising issue of cleanliness and service delivery in Highfield, after a couple of days, we realized that council went on a robust operation to start clearing some of this garbage, and it might be difficult for us to tie it to us, but for us, we are happy that we have made some people start doing something. So I see the impact of the arts in transforming communities.
That is very wonderful, especially coming from you. Now I want to go back to you, Mr. Ngirande. Addressing the recent Conference of Parties, COP27, the UN Secretary General said, and I quote, "We are in a fight of our lives and we are losing. We are on highway to climate hell with foot on accelerator. In your view, do you think the government of Zimbabwe is doing enough to address the climate crisis vis-a-vis the issue of natural resource governance?
Chekutanga ndinobwira navakuteeresi kuti climate change hachina kumira zvakanaka, and varombo ndo vari kusuffer the most, especially varombo vari kuno vatinorarama nekurima. Most of our people survive nekurima. Second, most of our people, ndana sister Gloria, miners, ndivanhu ivavo vakatadza kuita basa ravo nokuda kweclimate change. We all suffer. Saka ndowirirana navo kuteeresi. Pamazobvunza pekuti hurumende yedu iri kukwanisa here kuita enough. Well, they could do more, but kana tichitaura nenyaya yeclimate change, toona sekunge hurumende dzekumadokero, western governments, ndivo vari kutitadzisa kudhira nenyaya yeclimate change iyi. Why? Because ndivo vakakonzera problem reclimate change. Saka ndivo vakafanira kuisa mari yekuti problem reclimate change igadziriswe, but tiri kuona kuti ivo havasi kuda. Vakapeja 100 billion Glasgow, mari iyoyo haisi kusvika. Vana Zimbabwe tinobva tanzi imimi magara mutaone dzimwe nyaya dzenyu. Saka mari yatiri kufanira kunge tichiwanawo kuti tibatsire varombo nevarimi nemaminers nevamwe vari kuafectwa neclimate change yakakonzereswa nenyika dzekumadokero haisi kusvika. Saka hurumende yedu maoko avo akasungwawo kuti zvavangadai vachifanira kuita kuti varombo vanga netechnology, ruzivo, mari dzekushandisa kuti vaadapte to climate change. Mari idzodzo hadziko because vekumadokero havasitase hasi kudziunza. Saka isusu kuZimcot sevanhu vanotaura nenyaya yedebt, tokugara tichitaura tichiti they must pay the climate debt. Vanhu vakabhenefita nekuparadza pasi, they must pay. Makambani ari kuita the most money, makambani emafuta, vana Shell, vana Engen, they're making the most money. They must be taxed kuti mazi profit avaita munguva yecovid achishandisa mafuta ari kusvibisa pasi, they must be taxed kuti mari iyoyo igoverwe roga kuvarombo nevarimi vari kutadza kurarama zvakanaka nokuda kweclimate change.
Wow, the discussion is now heating up. This is a critical call from Comrade Famba Ingirande. This is the time now we need climate justice right now, especially considering countries from Africa. I think he made it very clear that we need to make sure that we strike a balance and avoid double standards. There is need for developed nations to make sure that they owe or they fulfill what they've promised in COP 25, that was 25, right, in Glasgow. So I want also to come back to you, Madam Gloria. You're on the ground. Oftentimes, we've been receiving complaints from government agencies like EMA, Environmental Management Agents, regarding small-scale miners as it concerns to issues of water pollution from mining activities, particularly from small-scale miners. What is the real challenge on the ground?
Challenge is beside kwema miners ari ma former miners iri kuma illegal miners sevanoenda kuna mubvinzi pane ruzivo kuna mubvinzi kwedu ndokwavanoenda ikoko ipaningi yekutoti vanotenda murwizi macho cyanide zvese zvinongogezerwa murwizi imomo vamwe vedu kwete isusu vamwe vedu zvekutoti ezvinezvi titori kuchemera kugovernment kuti itodzidzisawo vamwe vedu ava tozvifambisa sei kuti mvura icheneswe ende vasaite zvavari kuita izvozvo pazvinoitika vatongonzi tese tiri kuita izvo takamirira ipapapo futi isusu semaminers echikadzi tikutovavarira kuti pese patoita maina kana kuti kumadzimai ari mumaraini imomo tichitovadyarirawo miti tichivachereserawo mugodhi vamwe titovavakisira tumakicheni totovabike chingwa but varise group tichidzorerawo community because hatigona kuvaemploya kuti vapinde mukomo but tinovapawo kuti vaitewo tumwe tumabasa vari kumba ikoko.
Oh, this is very wonderful. So I think there's a lot of work from the government in terms of educating some of these so-called illegal miners. And I also think you guys from Zimcot, this is also a lot of work to you guys in the civil society to make sure that you conscientize these communities so that they do their trades in a way which does not destabilize the environment at the same time. In as much as we call for the developed world to make sure that they owe to what they've promised, I think also as miners, even in developing nations, we also need to do some sustainable means. So this also raised the question which I also want to direct to you, Mr. Papa. What can be done now to ensure that there is sustainability in terms of natural resource management?
Well, if you remember, Zimbabwe's history, we want a $12 billion mining economy, and that's an extractive ambition. The ambition is to share 12 billion. But what are 12 billion? A pastor Ogunzi, Pachazo, Pacha 12 billion in share. Pachakudama Basamaka. Pachetoma industry and support mining manga. Pacheta school chigan. Manure housing manga. Ma clinic manga support that mining vision. So I said to fine, Kanamati, let's expand the cake through mining. It's sort of whilst we're expanding the cake, let's remember the justice question. Vanaveri wangani vachawana mabasa. In one mabasa, when we are mining at the back of my checks incentive, we were saying, company, we are miner, Mungo Mira, you to my taxes for a long time. From a profits in, to my company, meanwhile, Tinevana mining communities, Wadakuchka, Wadakudzidza, Wadakura. So we're basically saying 12 billion mining vision, that industry, can achieve Gaive accompanied Nimabas, improved living standards, environmental protection, negro gamer industry, no support our mining, so that we can say the sure mining benefits the broad majority, even in Zimbabwe. We are suffering because Tirinika is rich Nema resources. How can that be?
Transparency, transparency, transparency. To close this show in conclusion, I want to give all of our panelists just less than 30 seconds to give their final. I will start with you, Madam Gloria Songweme. Do you have any other words to share with our viewers?
I want to add government, especially my women miners. My teams I tell you said ango mechana ni wakadzi wa encourage kupinda mining. Because wakadzi lisanu tochika kupinda mining. Nimaiti wakaitwa mtima yacho.
Thank you. Mr. Ngrande?
Well, Masibakuwa, in fair share from mining, why should the foreign companies enjoy a bigger benefit from our resources? Our people require a fair share in benefit from mining so that our communities may enjoy peace and prosperities right now. Quickly later, but no communities, from mining, and this is that.
Nyandoro.
Thank you. I think from this discussion, I'm happy I've learned that not all small-scale miners are illegal miners, and not all large-scale miners are legal miners. Some large-scale miners do so at the danger. And so I think for my closing remark, I've just improvised one stanza on national resource governance. Just trying to make people understand what is national resource governance from my perspective as Nyanduri Nyandoro. National resource governance is the right to economic freedom for everyone in the kingdom, not just a few in a fiefdom, crushing the rest to eternal serfdom and boredom. National resource governance is a basic human right, not just something said overnight for some esteemed to get on a flight to misrepresent with their biased oversight. All small-scale miners are not illegal miners, and all large-scale miners are not legal miners. Thank you.
Oh, yo. Until we meet again, think and act green.